Nick.
Hey, Byron. Will Anderson mentioned yesterday that discipline starts in practice. What does that look like?
I think it looks like a lot of small things people don't think about. I think it looks like, having your shirt tucked in, having the correct socks on, having all your pads in, small things like that just boil over to becoming big things.
Michael, did you have one? Yeah, I thought I saw you.
Too, if I could, the pass rush, how would you assess the way it was at Tennessee?
I think we had some success. I think we could have obviously been better, but I think, right now we just got to focus on the small things, focus on getting back to what we, the technique that we got to use, being down packed on our plays, our stunts and stuff like that. So I think there's always room to improve.
The second one, I just got to ask, Tennessee player, there was a video of a Tennessee player who, offensive lineman, looked like he threw up and looked at you. What was that moment like from your perspective?
We were actually talking right before he threw up. I don't remember what we were talking about, but then he looked away for a second, then he just threw up, and then he looked at me. I just told him he was nasty. And then I just looked to the sideline. That was all it was.
What were you guys talking about?
I really don't even remember.
We'll come back over and talk. Charlie?
You mentioned doing the little things. Just as an older guy, how have you kind of tried to respond this week and try to get the younger guys to do the same?
It started before this week, just trying to get everybody to do the little things. It really started last year after we lost last year. And I think that was one thing that we got away from last year that led to us losing to Georgia. And so I think it's just kind of been a continuous thing and getting everybody to do the little things. That's, kind of what we focused on all summer. And it's still kind of what we're focusing on now. So it's just making sure they know what the little things are. Because, some things, it can be so small you might not even think about it. But for me, it's something that I've been here for 4 years, so now I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly what everything is supposed to look like. So it's something I just try to show them what it looks like.
Katie?
Talk about doing all the little things right, but do you feel like there's a little bit of anger on defense, after giving up 52 points, it's just trying to get back to the Alabama standard?
I think there would be anger on defense after giving up 52 or even giving up 7. I think every week we go in with the goal to not allow any opponent to get anything. So I think whenever we give up anything at all, there's a little bit of anger that comes with it.
Nick?
You've obviously been here a while. Who are some of the other guys on the team that's maybe telling a guy to tuck their shirt in or kind of looking for those little things that you guys are mentioning?
It's a lot of the upperclassmen, me, Will Anderson, DJ Dale, Darian Dalcourt, Jordan Battle, Bryce, a lot of guys that have just been here and done that. And, most of the guys have everything down packed, but, sometimes people may forget. So it's not like, I don't think it's anything that people are intentionally not doing. I think it's something that people just might not think about.
Tony?
How big is this game for you and Jahiem, specifically? And then also, just have you heard about the dominance you guys have had on defense against Mississippi State from the people back home?
I wouldn't say for either of us is bigger than any other game. I think for me especially, every game that I'm about to play is the biggest game that I'm going to play in because it's the next game. And then, just speaking about how we dominated them on defense, I haven't really talked to many people from home about it, but I know that, we look to dominate every team on defense. So, if it's them, they're just the next team on the schedule that we got to prepare for.
Mason?
A lot of teams you face are multi-dimensional on offense, but with Mississippi State, their running game is just really lackluster compared to their passing game. What does that mean for you in terms of, okay, well, we still want to respect it, but it's much less of a threat than, other teams?
Personally, I wouldn't really say it was lackluster. I think they have really good running backs. I think they do. They obviously throw the ball more than they pass the ball, but I think that they still have a really good running game. They check to their running plays most of the time based off of what we might be in on defense. So I think that that's something that we obviously got to be alert for, and we got to respect, and we got to know really when they're going to run. So I think, like we always do, we start with stopping the run. So I think that's still going to be what we start with, and then, knowing that they're going to throw the ball, we got to be prepared to stop the pass as well.
I think we'll finish up here with James.
I want to ask you about Jahiem Oatis and just what have you seen out of him so far, and what has really impressed you about his game?
The thing that's really impressed me the most has just been his growth and, being as far along as he is. Because, I tell him all the time, he's 10 times better than I was when I first got here. I wouldn't say I was awful, but I wasn't where he is, So he's impressed me just with his maturity and his work ethic.